create a proper work breakdown structure for your project. It's quite important to understand exactly what to be delivered. So let's see here how we can create a project and define its scope in a way it can be easily handled and managed. So let's suppose we have to create a project that aims to deliver one app for users checking their presence in some kind of event they participate. So we create then a project and say here app for checking in events. Then, okay, we could define more data here, but it's not the case right now. And here the project is created. Okay, now we may define its scope, creating the work breakdown structure. So here the first WBS item for the whole project. Now it's created, and then we can break that down in small tasks. So it's an app. We can initiate, for instance, creating its screens. So we could have a delivery app screens. And then we can define what screens our app will have. It could have one login screen, and it could have another screen that is the check-in screen. Now, more than the screens, we need to have the services that are the functionalities that will handle these screens. So another deliverable from this project, that is the services or the web services that will handle these app functionalities. And now we can define it's the login service and also the check-in service. Okay. Moreover, this database needs to have one database to store what happens when users utilize that. Okay, here we have a good definition of what have to be done, and then we need to present that to users. So we could have here another work package that is the app presentation to users. And then here we have one WBS defined with 4 levels for screens, for services, for database, and for presentation. And you can define that as much as you want. And as you can see, when you have just the project definition, it's so small the amount of information you have to understand exactly what has to be done. But when we break that down in small parts, we have a clear definition of what have to be done. And then, of course, we can advance for the time planning, for the schedule planning, defining the activities for each work package.